Hey there crewmates, how's it going? It's Mift Crew here. We have a black screen here. And today we are going to be analysing the model of Boris the Wolf from Bendy and the Ink Machine. Specifically we're going to try and find out whether Boris is going to be a goodie or a baddie. Personally I like him to be a good guy. You're going to load up the model first. Here we got the Boris model right here, and when we first import him, you see a black screen. I need to disable that lighting here. But the main thing that's how I like to cover, and this could also be possible hints whether he's good or evil, is actually some of the features that Boris has. So if we were to go over here underneath the animation set editor where the model is, and if we were to start off with the face section here, then we would see that he actually has a lower face section here. So if we were to, if we were to left click on that again, if we were to open that up here, and if we were to drag the slider up, we can see he can actually smile there. I find it very interesting. This could be possible evidence that Boris is actually going to play a good guy role in Bendy and the Ink Machine. However, a smile, I guess it can't mean everything really, because if you take a look at Bendy the Ink Demon when he tries to kill us, he has a smile all over his face, like non-stop. So that smile could mean that he's a goodie, or it could just mean that, you know, he's just like Bendy, I guess, or any other random ink monster that's trying to destroy Henry the animator. Yes. If we were to go in the other folders here, body, arms, I've actually gone through all of these. They're much the same really. They just allow you to, I don't know, move them around, make a pose if you like, something like that really. The next thing that I mainly like to cover here is if we were to go to the unknown section, we have got some more sliders. One of them is open, and if we were to drag that all the way up, then he can actually open his mouth there, so he could actually be talking here, possibly. He can actually be a character with a voice and stuff. Either that or he's just eating a lot of those, I don't know, Bendy soup cans or something. And another option that he seems to have, another feature, is actually a sniff option. So if we were to drag the slider all the way up, then his nose would go all the way up as well. If we were to drag it all the way down, his nose goes back to normal. So is it actually possible that if he's an enemy, then he can use his sniffing sensors to sniff out where the character is, and which could be quite cool actually if you had to had to escape from Boris, and you can identify where he is through the sounds of through the noises that he makes when he's sniffing out for you. Or it could be if he was a goodie, which I'm really hoping that he is personally. He could actually sniff out where the enemies are, or where we have to go in order to achieve our objectives, or things like that really. So maybe he can actually figure out where Boris and the player has to go next really in order to achieve their goals. Next thing I'd like to cover is that, does he actually have any skins or body groups? So if we were to right click, then no, he doesn't have any alternative textures, and no, he doesn't have any body groups. We don't really have anything new in terms of that. However, there is something that I'd like to cover here. It's actually going back to Boris having a smile on his face. If you take a look at the sliders here, the smile's all the way down, opens all the way down, the sniff is all the way down. So basically back to normal here. If we were to go to the side view here, we can actually see that even without the smile slider, he seems to be smiling anyway. So he actually generally seems to have a smiley mouth. Now, the interesting thing I find about this is that if we were to go back to the ending of chapter 2, he always has his head looking, like he's always looking directly at us, giving us an angle where we can't actually see what his mouth is. So is it smiling? Is it sad? Is it not? We just don't know. But if we actually go into the model, we can see that it's smiling all the time here. Now, another interesting thing I find about this is that some people have actually managed to encounter Boris from a different angle at the ending of chapter 2. And even though it's from a different angle, Boris's head is still looking directly at the player. So it's like wherever the player is, Boris's head is looking. Could this actually be how we can tell if Boris is going to be a good guy or an evil character in Bendy and the Ink Machine? Looking at this, I'd say he's actually a good guy here. He doesn't have any skins, body groups, or features that doesn't actually allow him to have evil eyes, or a frown, or a sad mouth. I mean, I guess if we wanted him to look upset, then I guess we'd have to lower his ears, I guess, but there you go, looking at that, it looks a bit clippy, so maybe not then. But even so, that does make him look sad, and if we were to go from the sideline, he still looks happy there, so even with the droopy ears. So now, looking at the ending credits of chapter 2, Bendy and the Ink Machine, someone called Pascal Clerks, sorry I'm not the greatest reader, did the 3D modeling and 3D rigging for the game. So I guess it's possible that they just modeling and rigging these characters from a general modeler and rigger's point of view here. But then again, No, I don't want to say something. I'm no expert on modeling and rigging here, so I'm not too sure what is normal for a modeler and a rigger to do, and what isn't normal for a modeler and a rigger to do. But it is possible that they were just doing a general version. So it's like, okay, I'm making a model, so I just give the model the general features that a model would usually have, as well as the rigs and stuff like that a model would usually have. You see, the thing I find interesting about is that, again, I'm no expert, but surely a regular model with a regular rigs and stuff like that would have a sad face option and a frown and a blink option and things like that, really. Like, I mean, Boris doesn't, so I don't know. What do you crewmates think? Is he good? Is he evil? Looking at this, I'd say he's good, but I can't say for sure, of course, obviously. Now that we've analysed the model here, I want to take a look at the reveal trailer that's recently been released for Chapter 3, Bendy and the Ink Machine. So at first, it plays a cartoon when Bendy is trying to get Boris' attention, but Boris doesn't notice because he's enjoying his food too much, until Bendy gets on his nerves and Boris gets all angry with him. So it's possible that he could be the one that could get angry, but then again, it was just one of those cartoons, so I suppose it depends how much these cartoons actually relate to the general reality of Bendy and the Ink Machine. Like, will these cartoons play a big role in this game story? Is it just going to play a small role? Now, I say that the cartoon animations might not mean a whole lot to the story. However, one thing we do see at the end is a shadow loom over Bendy. A shadow that looks like a human. Wait a second. That human, from what I can work out from that shadow, he seems to have short hair. Let's see, looking at this picture here, Mike Mood has short hair. It's confirmed. Mike Mood is in Bendy and the Ink Machine. However, after that cartoon has played, we can actually see what seems to be gameplay footage. Chapter 3, it would seem, when we have the main character running through these hallways. We've got these little ink light monsters thingies. We've even got some symbols of Alice Angel, so she's definitely going to play a huge role in this game here. Now, at the beginning of the what seems to be the gameplay part of the Chapter 3 release trailer, we can actually see some cans that are lying on the floor. Now, I can't quite make out if these are the same cans that we saw roll out when we first saw Boris at the ending of Chapter 2. I suppose it's possible that, let's assume that those are the same cans, let's say. We have multiple possibilities here. It could be that Boris is out there to get you, and here are some sightings that Boris has been here. We can see some cans on the floor, and because we eat stuff out of these cans a lot, then here is a sighting that Boris has been here. Or it could be because we actually came across these cans earlier within the chapter as well. It could be that, okay, these cans, they can be found quite frequently throughout the studios, and because everything's a mess, we're going to find a few cans lying around here and there. I'm not too sure, really. Could this be related to Boris, these cans on the floor here, or could they be completely random? I'd also like to go back to a teaser of Chapter 3, which seemed to have Boris in it as well. Basically, it's just a picture of Boris peeping around the corner, and he has a wrench in his hand, and the text above it says, "The ink demon is out there." Now, I'm not too sure if that's saying that because we have a picture of Boris here, it's referring to him as the ink demon, in which case it's quite possible that Boris is going to be a bad guy. Or if it's Boris saying something, the ink demon is out there, let's say. So, I'm not too sure. It could go either way. There's no frown option or anything like that, so we can't have like an evil smile. We're looking at a good guy here. So to answer the question, is Boris a good guy or a bad guy? Look, of course, we can't confirm anything at the moment here, but from what I can work out, and from what I would personally like Boris to be in the game, yes, Boris is a good guy. But either way, that's just what I'm thinking here at the moment. What do you crewmates think? Think Boris is a good guy or an evil guy? I'll be curious to see what you crewmates guys think about this. The one thing that the Meatley did say in one of his videos, which is the founder of Bendy and the Ink Machine, for those of you who don't know, is that Boris, there is a very important thing to know about Boris. He didn't say what, but there's a very important thing to know about him. So that's also quite interesting, actually. One thing I personally think would be pretty cool if maybe if there was to actually hide little teasers or possibly hints or any secrets like that on the model, so like maybe, I don't know, underneath their head or underneath their sleeve perhaps, or maybe any parts that we can't see in the actual game itself. But if we were to port the models and maybe do some analysing, like digging around them, I think it would be pretty cool. We can actually, if there are actually little secrets that we can find. And again, who knows, maybe there are already. Now that the main video itself here is over, here is a preview of Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 3 animated fan-made.
It seems like the safest option. It is not safe down here anymore. I'm stuck in ink.
Another blackout? Boris saved me. The map has changed. Let's just move forward. Oh, Boris, not again.
And for those of you who are desperate to know, spoiler alert, Boris is not dead. He's like, I don't know, literally a few keyframes later, he's going to get back up again. So don't worry, in this animation, Boris is fine. And he's a goodie as well. They're going to do a lot together. That another spoiler alert. Darn nuggets! I got the Boris model from a workshop item on Source Filmmaker, Minifig Joe who did it. I'd like to thank Minifig Joe for porting the Boris model from Bendy and the Ink Machine Chapter 2. And as a quick side note here, I got a new plushie yesterday. Apologies you couldn't see it, my big head was blocking, it was right there, it was. Yeah, I just met my friend yesterday, my best friend Gary, and got me a two-sided emoji sunglasses. It's like relaxing, not just sure which one does this represent. I love my emojis, but I don't know what they all mean. Deary me. Thank you so much, Gary. Anyway, that's pretty much all for now, crewmates. Thank you for watching, it's Myth Crew here. I'll be back for more videos coming soon. Goodbye, crewmates.